Our goal in the Risk Management Fund is really not only to provide defense to officers or officials when they're sued, but also to help them on the front end in the training aspect of it to really live up to our name, to manage the risk.
We were concerned about exponential growth in lawsuits in our jails. We were seeing a lot more lawsuits, a lot more pro se lawsuits, a lot of things that we felt like could be handled well with just some due diligence from a jailer standpoint, jail administration standpoint.
On an annual basis, we probably open anywhere from 300 to 400 cases a year. The bulk of those are going to be made up from lawsuits filed by pro se inmates. So a pro se inmate is just one who files their lawsuit while they're incarcerated and they don't have attorney representation.
We had jails when I first started here back in 2010 that were still using index cards and pencils to keep track of prisoners, keep track of diets, find out who's on suicide watch, keep track of that, transfer that information from one jailer to the next jailer in the next shift.
The biggest problems that we've had with trying to keep record on paper and pencil, particularly, is things getting lost fairly often.
A lot of the issues we had was somebody could be walking up there and it drop and forget it, or they had to run in a cell and deal with somebody and it fell out of their pocket and an inmate tore it up. I mean, there's handwriting was another bad one. I know a lot of people, like I said, me included, have terrible handwriting, and you had to have somebody call you and, hey, what did this say? And you've got to recall it back.
When we started looking out in the world for someone that could offer some help for us in this arena, Guardian RFID, with 160 years of combined correctional experience, was an incredible potential partner for us, somebody that had been down the roads before that we were about to go down. So that's why immediately I was attracted to Guardian RFID. I look at Guardian RFID as the best tool in the toolbox to manage a jail.
Guardian RFID is an inmate tracking program. It helps us to create records of inmate meals, recreation, medications, and even audio and video of incidents that may not be recorded on other cameras within the jail. We tell officers, just like in real estate, they say location, 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 right? In litigation, we say documentation, documentation, documentation. So every opportunity we have to give them the ability to document something, whether it's by a scan, whether it's by a video, an audio, a photograph, every opportunity we have, that makes the case more defensible. So our goal is to avoid the litigation on the front end, and I really think that's where we've seen the biggest improvement.
The feature that we really love and encourage our counties to use so much on the handheld is that video and those photographs, because when we've gotten inmates saying, my cell's covered in black mold, I'm telling the jailers, take a picture of it. When you go to check on it, take a picture of it, and then it captures it right there in Guardian. So then when we're trying to defend the case in litigation to show, no judge, his cell was not covered in black mold, we actually have video evidence. And so instead of it becoming a question for trial of he said, she said, we've either got a 30-second video clip of all the cell walls, or we've got photos that show that it was clean.
That's one thing that we love about the Guardian system is from the litigation side, we have the ability to log in and just pull those records down ourselves. From a supervisor standpoint, it makes it very easy when we have digital transformation for them to be watching the aspects of their officer's job that maybe doesn't seem like so much of the everyday. For instance, they can look at reports more easily if they're digital. They can review grievances from inmates more easily if they're digital. And having access to the cloud and the information, the videos that they may be shooting, those things make a huge difference for us, and it makes them more efficient. We've seen officers who are more confident in what they're doing because they're getting the feedback from their supervisors that they're doing the things they're supposed to be doing. And they're getting the feedback from us that, yes, we can see the records where you're in compliance, where you're doing the jail checks.
Having quick access to those records not only builds better rapport with our members, because we're not having to go back to them repeatedly asking for, records after records after records. We can pull those from our office, but also it's the information that we need. So we really get to craft the usage as a risk pool, as from a defense standpoint, to say, if you use it this way, then that's going to help us on your litigation. And so it really creates this interesting marriage between the daily functionality of the jail, but being able to craft that in such a way to lower defense costs and lower risks in the litigation.
One thing we know about the generation that we're employing as jailers, for the most part, they're very tech savvy, and this fits right into that. And so there's not as much training even, but Guardian makes it easy just to, swipe and use the Spartan and do things they would normally do with their phones. And so once the sheriffs and jail administrators have seen how easy it is to use, they've really embraced it and really wanted to find out more about the ways that they could use it in their jails.
I'm really excited about the innovations that Guardian is going to be responsible for as we move into the future. Already we've seen new products that they've rolled out that have made lives easier for our jailers and for us, for me as the executive director here, and for our whole fund management process and risk management. We look forward to seeing what they bring to us in the future.